I'm sure you know, Battlefield 3 Aftermath DLC is out now for premium members. Came out on the 4th, it comes out on the 11th for everybody else. And I just thought I'd start this video. I know I haven't shown you any crossbow or sniper gameplay yet, that will come shortly. I've sort of shown you a mix of a couple of rounds blended together into one fluid bit of gameplay, hopefully. So it's kind of like a running montage or something like that. But I have to say, of all of the DLCs, this is probably the one I've enjoyed the most straight off the bat. You know, Strike at Karkan, those maps are always going to be good because they're from Battlefield 2. Close Quarters, I don't think that was that much for me. Armored Kill, I kind of liked Armored Kill, but it just took them so long to fix the AC-130 where it wasn't massively overpowered in Rush, because as I'm sure a lot of you know, I do pretty much play just Rush. You know, I play a little bit of other game modes like Gunmaster, the new Scavenger, which is quite fun as well. I don't play too much Conquest, but when you got something like the AC-130 as an Armored Kill, it does kind of spoil Rush a little bit on those maps. But I've just got into this game, and the map design is really good. I like how the sniper class has sort of been semi-buffed, sort of, both through the map design in Aftermath and also with the crossbow, which I'll get onto in just a second after I've finished flying around here. And incidentally, this just shows you how good some of these maps are. This is one of the 4 that you get with Aftermath. It's Markaz Monolith, but I very rarely used to play with a little bird. I used to find it was a lot more effective to sort of run in as infantry, and I probably wasn't a very good pilot, but I've had so much fun, which is why I'm showing you this here, just flying in around these buildings. Now, we're only on the first Rush base here, and there's just so much, you know, when you push back through them and you're getting chased by the other helicopters when they got a decent piloting and stuff. It's so good. The other maps that you get with the DLC are probably equally as good as this one. I mean, this is one of my favourite. Admittedly, they did go on the yellow scale with this about as hard as they went with the blue scale on frickin' Death Valley. But, you know, after you've played it for a short amount of time, you kind of get used to it. I like Epicenter. There seems to be sort of more earthquakey kind of rumbles, which runs through the Rush game when you're in that. I don't know if the rumbles happen in all of the game modes. I haven't really noticed that yet, but I did notice when you're on the Epicenter map, they do seem a little bit more frequent. This here is the Crossbow. Just nailed that guy. As you can see, it takes a second for the arrow to actually fly, so you've got to leave pretty much every target you aim for. I don't even know if the crossbow goes through the windscreen of helicopters yet. I'm pretty sure it will do. And I got a collateral here. A collateral crossbow. Just look at this. He got really... His little buddy ran in behind him with a crossbow as well. As you can see, the bullet drop, the travel time and that, I mean, they're just so exponentially greater than the sniper rifles. Some people have been saying that the crossbow is kind of pointless. You know, even when you've unlocked all the darts for it, you can basically... you can see how to unlock the darts in the assignments, and then if you press, I think it's by default V on the keyboard, but whatever select fire that you've got set to that, then you know that will basically change between the different darts. So if you just take the crossbow, you can choose between the Cobra sight, or you can choose between this sight, which I think is slightly better because it's kind of like a precision firing tool, I think. Some people say the Cobra's nicer. I haven't really found that to be the case because it's harder to judge the bullet drop. But if you do press the select fire button with whichever of these crossbows you've selected, then you can get explosive rounds. You can get something like, I think it's called sonic rounds or something, where you fire them into the ground and it shows you every enemy within 10 meters. Haven't found that to be that useful given the map is incredibly poor in Battlefield 3. There's also a dart which doesn't kill from the waist up, which I think is what the standard darts do, but it does hit instantly. So if you're the kind of guy who wants to go for headshots with the crossbow, or you're struggling with the bullet travel time, you know, the bolt travel time and stuff like that, then that's probably the dart for you. And then of course there's the explosive Rambo darts, which I'll show you in another video, which have basically the most loop on them I think I've ever freaking seen. It starts like dipping after about 2 meters out of the crossbow, which incidentally, when I get the crossbow back out, you'll see that it's actually a HK416, like with a groove sawn down the middle of it and then 2 metal bars off like a car fastened onto it, so it feels like a sort of really rustically, quickly made crossbow, which I really like that kind of detail on it. Now graphically, overall, these maps are some of the best looking I think I've ever seen, and some of the most immersive as well. I actually upgraded my graphics card from a 680, this last week to a 690 so that I'll be able to record this for you in Ultra, because unfortunately the 680, it doesn't quite cut it when recording if you have everything on motion blur and absolutely everything. So I bought a 690 so that I could show you this footage, and this is, you know, this is as good as Battlefield 3 is ever going to look. Absolutely everything is on at the moment, and I just thought I'd tell you about the 690 because a lot of people think that it's kind of waste of money spending $1,000 or whatever on a graphics card. But I've noticed nearly, in fact, I definitely have got double the frame rate that I had with the 680. So it's kind of like getting another 680, which is half the price. So in terms of value for money, it is sort of overkill unless you're recording and unless you want absolutely everything on super high or whatever. But I felt, you know, it makes for a better video if I'm showing you it with decent graphics and stuff on. Now, I guess I really ought to answer at this point in the video where the crossbow kind of fits into the game, because, you know, with a gun which kills with one bullet essentially from the waist up, I think, unless you hit a limb, that could be seriously overpowered. But of course, it's really quite difficult to hit things with a crossbow given the lead-in, the arrow drop on it, and the fact that it takes 3 freaking years to actually reload this thing. And you might think that I'm hitting targets quite easy with this. I did practice quite a lot before I showed this gameplay. This is, you know, I played probably about 5 hours on this map to get these clips together for you, so I'm not, you know, it's quite a difficult weapon to actually use, and you see I missed one guy there. But what I found, you know, in terms of how it fits into the game overall, it seems to really just buff the recon class and kind of nerf the other classes, given that if you take it with the engineer, you basically got to trade out your RPG. If you take it with the assault, you've got to trade out your medikit, which nobody in their freaking right mind would do. If you take it with the support class, then you've got to trade out your C4, and that kind of makes the support class almost sort of pointless, really. And, you know, the only class which it really seems to improve is the recon class, and quite significantly, actually. I mean, it's a really good tool to run with instead of a pistol, because, well, you got a pistol as well. But, you know, you can run out with a crossbow out and pretty much one-shot people wherever they are, because that takes over the slot for the tugs, and whatever else is in the MAV, whatever's in that category, the crossbow takes over that, and obviously the crossbow is better than all of those. I guess lastly I ought to really just sort of cover the scavenger game mode, which is the new one. Basically, if you don't know about this already, if you haven't got the DLC, you start off with a pistol and a grenade. You don't have any medikits or anything like that, so you can't really heal yourself. And you've got to run around and basically pick up grounds off the ground. I don't know whether they based this on kind of like a Battlefield 3 version of DayZ or something. It kind of felt like that to me the very first time that I played it, where you run around and you sort of pick up a gun. It's only got a couple of clips in it, so the ammo perk is really important if, you know, if you're playing with it. And it's basically sort of capture the flag, but everybody's using completely random weapons they've never got used to. So it's kind of fun, you know, kind of fun. And I've actually sort of enjoyed it a little bit more than I enjoy Gunmaster. So, you know, if you want a bit of something different, then Conquest or Rush is in there as well. Thanks for watching, guys. If you could leave me a rating, it's much appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next chapter.